Hello, hello, my HRIS peeps, and welcome to the second episode of the HRIS Streamline Podcast. Today, we are going to be speaking to a transformative industry leader, Mr. Lilo Burren. Now, Lilo has over 16 years experience in the industry driving global HR processes, transforming HR teams, and improving operational efficiencies. Lilo, it's such a great honor to have you on with us here on the HRIS Streamline Podcast. And without further ado, as an industry leader, can you tell us a little bit about what a typical day for you is like, and what is it that you actually do?
Absolutely, and thank you so much, Chavonne. Glad to be on with you and super excited to talk with you and represent HRIS, listening community for sure. So really, I like to talk plainly, and in terms of what I do day to day, I like to think about HRIS as partnering with the HR business partner community. That could be HR business leaders. That could be what we refer to now as COEs, Center of Excellence leaders, to really, sort of think through the problems and challenges and strategies that are affecting them and partnering with them to come up with HRIS solutions to help drive business results. At the end of the day, that's really what it's all about.
So, Lilo, tell us, how did you realize that HRIS was right for you? Like, what was that aha moment like for you?
I would love to say that I had some sort of grandma plan of working in HRIS, but that's really not how it happened for me. And as you sort of go through your career and talk to different people, and you often ask, well, how did you get to where you're going? I found that, my story is similar to the journey that others have had, right? What you're always really looking to do is to, exercise your natural gifts and add value in the organization, however that plays out. And for me, it just happened to play out in the area of HRIS. I started my career in HR on the talent acquisition side as a practitioner, full life cycle recruiter, then building talent acquisition teams, and went from there to building out systems and processes specifically to talent acquisition and rolling those systems and processes out globally. And that just continued to expand. And before you know it, I woke up one day and I go, oh, I guess that means I'm HRIS. Yeah.
So tell me, did you have any personal struggles that weighed heavily on your decision to go into HRIS? Like, if you did, what were they? Or if you don't mind sharing it, how did you overcome it?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I did have an opportunity, sort of reaching this fork in the road. Should I continue my career down the path of working in talent acquisition as a manager and as a practitioner, or do I, go down the path of systems and process development, right? And
Gotcha.
The way that happened, we were in a place where we were really transforming the HR organization, which meant new opportunity for those of us who were on the team at the time. And just like any time you're putting a team together and you're driving towards a vision, right? It's first, okay, do we have the right seats on the bus? And then do we have the right people to sit in those seats? And then trying to get everybody aligned in that direction. Well, one of the seats, the empty seats that we had on the bus, was someone who could drive processes and system design and implementation globally for us. That was an empty seat. And I started my career as a consultant implementing business applications and solutions, and had some experience doing that at the organization, and had done a good enough job and was recognized for it, to the point where my manager said, hey, I think this career path that we have within HR, having you transition from a practitioner to someone focused on systems would be a good one. Let's go for it. And that started the journey. And that was 10 plus years ago.
So to kind of add on to that, what is it that you find the most exciting about what you do day in and day out? Like, what is it that you enjoy most about your career?
It's really the collaboration, just about everything that you're going to accomplish, of any real meaning or value, at least what I've found, it comes through collaborating with others. pulling together, teams around a common problem or issue and coming up with solutions, to address those problems. I mean, at the end of the day, whether you're talking about talent acquisition, whether you're talking about performance, whether you're talking about learning, you're trying to figure out how best do I take all of these programs and systems and deliver them in a way to where it's engaging our talent, it's engaging our external talent, it's energizing our internal talent. Are we innovating well? And so what typically happens is that your HR partners, that's their skill set as a practitioner is really understanding comp or really understanding talent and performance or really understanding recruiting, but not so much the system side. And so by collaborating, with someone who is focused on the systems, they can put technology and processes in place that enable the programs that they're trying to deliver. And that partnership I find really, really exciting. Yeah, for sure.
So what is something that you find like the most mundane about what you do every day?
Yeah, sure. So really the whole idea, often it's exciting for people to start a new project, to implement this new technology, whatever it happened to be. But understanding the domain space, and by domain space, I typically will mean, whether it's, recruiting, talent, whatever your HR operation and processes are around hiring people, onboarding people, whatever that domain is, do you understand it well enough to be able to evaluate that technology, determine that it's right for your organization, that the timing is right to implement it, and that your operating model is right to support it, is really just as important picking the right technology. You can pick the right technology, but it's the wrong time, it doesn't fit your culture, and you don't have the opposition to actually successfully deliver it and maintain it. So in many ways, if you think about, well, what is the mundane part? The mundane part is, if you want to think about it this way, is after we've made that decision around the technology, after we've made agreement or gotten agreement that it's the right time, after we have agreement that culturally and maturity-wise as an organization we're ready for it, and we've delivered it and implemented it, and we've celebrated and everybody's happy, now you got to support it. Now you own it now, because the business conditions and the business drivers that were in place year one are going to be different 6 months down the line, a year down the line, 2 years down the line, and you'll constantly be adapting that technology to address whatever those new challenges are or new requirements are. That's for sure. And so you have to be willing to embrace all of that, not just the implementing, but also the supporting it in what I call business as usual or BAU activities associated with that technology.
Okay. So another question I have for you, is there anything that you